Every experience is here to create you, it's not here to destroy you. There are two ways to live life. Either get into life looking at what you can receive or what you can give. What you think and what you do all day is what you ultimately become. The power of thought. Believe in yourself, don't give up hope. Have faith in yourself and live your dream. Being true to what you want to be. So what I do today that will create my tomorrow is important. And if you take care of what is important, your future will automatically be taken care of.
Sir, sometimes, when these kind of people who are really wanting to get into the business, as you said, that I, out of experience or out of hearing from various people and learning from them, the kind of cash surplus they need to have as a fallback. Because, in order to fund, as you said, you have to reinvest in the whole thing. But apart from that, what would you, according to your experience, how much of cash surplus do they need, to fund themselves for a considerable amount of time in the business?
One is for your family's need.
Yeah,
you at least need about 10 to 12 months salary, what your current earning, keep that as a savings for them to take care. You need to at least have 30% contingency planning. That's very, very important. We expect everything that, okay, we have done this, I think this is how it's going to be. But life is not straightforward. Only when you think everything is going right, something will go wrong at that point of time. We should not get into the trap of borrowing very early. Borrowing, especially for your working capital, is extremely wrong. Never borrow for your working capital requirement. Borrowing is justified only as a capital expenditure which is going to generate more income. Supposing from one store I'm going to open a second store, borrowing to do the interiors for the store is justified. But to run the single store itself, if I don't have enough of working capital, I'm borrowing for working capital to run it more and more, apart from what is already invested, then there's something wrong. Working capital is something you need. I need to pay salaries, I don't have money for that. I need to pay my telephone bill, I need to pay my regular EMIs, I don't have money. Borrowing for that will ensure that you will get into a cycle that you can never come out of. So have 30% contingency planning, more than what you need as in terms of working capital. Don't touch that money by discipline. Only as and when you require it, use it. Earn the surplus, put it back. So keep that money apart so that you don't get into the trap of borrowing.
When you are saying so many things, I can see that you have gone through a lot in life to have obviously that is what everybody does, every successful businessman does. At every point of the turning points in your life, what were those important learnings which you still carry through in your life?
I've seen a lot in life. I've seen, I'm 46, I've been through anything and everything. I've done more mistakes than most people I've known. I've taken my business to a state of bankruptcy. I've bounced back from there. And I've been through a lot, anything and everything. But the good point is, when anything happened, something in my mind always, or the grace that has always been that always carried me through, saying that, Vijay, I think it's time for you to introspect. Stop looking at other people to find what wrong they did. Can you look at yourself and see what wrong you have done? Let me speak about, since I mentioned my family life, I think it's very important. It's very hollow success if you're only able to be successful in one role of your life. Unless until you're not successful in every aspect of your life, every role, whether as a husband, as a son, as a brother, as a parent, as an entrepreneur, as a part of society, as a citizen, if you're not able to succeed in every aspect of your life, then I think it's very hollow. You need to be a holistic success. And that only comes when something deep within you is right. It cannot be that you can try to be one person here and another person there. Something deep within you has to be right. So you need to get that person within you right. And believe me when I tell you this, I've not been a very good person. From my childhood, I've grown with so many shortfalls and so many feelings of I'm not good enough, I'm not this. I've been people have called me kulla, shorty, lot of things, so it's taken me a lot to come out of it and understand that all these are only on a very superficial level, but deep within you, if you're beautiful, if you're able to understand yourself much better, if you're able to love yourself much better, you'll be able to give back the same to the world. So it's taken me a lot of hard work in this. So my wife in 2004, when she sat across the table and told me, I think Vijay, it's been 7 years since we got married, and I think I cannot take this anymore. You're married to your work, you're more interested in your travels, and you don't have any time for us, me and our son, you don't have time. So lucky for me at that point of time, I instead of me getting into a word of war, a fight, the first thought process was, hey, what have I done? What have I done? So it took me about 2 years to rebuild the whole relationship in terms of introspecting. And thankfully, I have a very beautiful wife who's also very mature in terms of understanding, very spiritually and very deep in her faith. It took us about 2.5 years. Now we have a role model of a marriage in terms of every
Fantastic.
aspect. In fact, over that few years, I mean, from 2006 to now, in 11 years, it's been the most beautiful and the most fabulous marriage that I have in every aspect. Similarly, even in business, in 2010, we took Derby Jeans Community National. We opened up stores in Delhi, Bombay, Kolkata, Punjab. Overnight, we opened about 26, 27 stores. We franchised them out. Fabulous location, fabulous stores, beautiful product. We reinvented the brand from business casuals to a casual brand called as Derby Jeans Community. It was more into casuals, targeting at the youth. But one thing I never realized at that point of time, when we went national and overnight expanded, is that India is very different from the rest of the world. You can advertise, you can put full page ads, you can do whatever you want to. But people need something called a seeping in time. They need to try your product, they need to experience it, they need to go back and tell two people, then they come. It just doesn't happen overnight. So I didn't have the type of deep pockets because entire funding of the entire organization was purely from my pocket. I've never really got any funding from outside. So when over the next 2 years, from 2010, 11 and 12, when we started making losses, when we were not able to handle it, we ran into about 25, 26 crores of losses running those 26 stores. Our entire foundation got shaken up. So very early we decided we will not take something called a sunken cost. We will not burn good money over bad money. So we called back all my franchise partners from all over the place and told them, hey, I think it's not working. I think it's time we wind up these operations, shut down. Most of them said, we've invested so much of money. I told them at that point of time, look here, I know you have trusted me. I know our contract, there is nothing out here that I need to, pay you back anything because it's a business proposition. But I feel committed because you trusted me and you got into it and you lost your money. So what I will do, I cannot pay you the entire money right now. I'll equate it over next 2 years and pay you back whatever losses you made and your investment. And I shut down all these stores. Yes, at that point of time, I sold out all the assets that I built, including the home that I had. And we were literally on the roads. We didn't have any money at that time. Kandavadi, and you name the type of funding, 50%, 60% interest, just to get out of the situation. And it was terrible days. It was absolutely terrible. Sleepless nights, back pain, stress to the highest of levels. 2012, 13, 14, 3 years trying to recoup from that. But all through the days, one thing good about it, I never gave up on myself. I had the grace of my Guru Mahatria who always carried me through. And one thing I kept telling myself, life is like a boxing match. In a boxing match, you're not declared a loser till you refuse to get up. Your responsibility is to get up one more time. No matter how hard life punches you, get up one more time. And I always kept reminding me, you never know the reason why you go through all these challenges at that point of time.
Beautiful.
Have patience. Probably a few years down the line, you will realize why you're going through this. And these are all self-created. I cannot go and blame anyone else because I knew the risk of expansion. I knew it. But something within me said, no, I think everything will be there. Everything will go fine. It does not matter if we don't have the contingency plan in place. We will take a chance and do it. It's now or never. And it doesn't happen. When you think this can never happen to you, that's when it happens to you. And everything is a learning. So I'm just blessed that I invested my time during those times on my health. A lot of people during troubled times, first thing they do is give up on my health. I ensured I hit the gym 7 days a week because I found that to be a very de-stress. Pump the weights and remove all the frustration on the weights. The harder it pushed me back, the harder I worked out. I spent a lot of time in silence, in meditation. I spent a lot of time in walks. I spent a lot of time with my family, with my wife. I took a lot of holidays. Small, cheap holidays. Wherever I would get a cheap deal anywhere. Since I couldn't afford anything expensive, cheap deals. Also ensured that I brought the entire business plan back to the drawing board. Looked at what are the reasons I may have failed. Restructured the entire business. And then we reversed the whole process. I realized till then I was trying to succeed. Then I asked myself, can I ensure that my business is such where I make other people succeed?
Fantastic.
That's where the whole vision came up of creating 1,000 successful first generation entrepreneurs through franchising Derby Jeans Community globally, thereby putting India on the fashion map of the world. We decided not only that, okay, I know how to succeed. Yes, this expansion may have failed, But I have a success formula because my stores still in Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Kerala were still very successful.
Okay.
Yes, they were not successful in Bombay, Delhi, Kolkata because they were newer region. But in the southern region where we were kings, we were still the kings. They were still doing very well. And they were funding for the losses. They were funding for the losses. Whatever money I had, I earned. It's like a bucket with a hole.
Yeah.
No matter how much water you fill in, it keeps leaking out. And that's what was exactly happening. So my south was very strong still at that point of time. So I decided, how do I actually make other people successful in the process? How can I create more successful first generation entrepreneurs? So the mission statement to support the vision was, in pursuit of a people first approach, how can I put other people ahead of me? Can I have a selfless attitude? Selfless itself says, think a little less about yourself and more about others.
True.
In pursuit of people first approach, by creating a success chain of customers, suppliers, vendors, job workers, franchise partners, front end and back end team members. 1000 பேருக்கு பிரியாணி வாங்கி கொடுத்தா நம்ம தயிர் சாதம் பஞ்சம் இருக்காது.
Correct.
Very clear policy. How can I make others success? Anyone who touches my life, anyone who walks into my office, whether he's a supplier, whether he's a vendor, whether he's my customer, whether he's franchise partner, what can I do that day to make him successful?
Beautiful.
The only process. And when we changed, just the thought process changed. Nothing else changed. We found that more and more stores became successful. The same people who had lost money in different parts of the country started recommending other people to us, saying that I think you should deal with this brand. This is a brand out here which didn't have any commitment towards our losses, but they paid us. I think you should work with them. I think this is a brand that you should work with. And that is how the whole thing reversed out. And today, I'm worth a few hundred crores. I built this new building out here where we are sitting out here. So it's been a story.
Beautiful, sir. Very, very inspiring. But when you have, in the process, I'm sure you have built a beautiful team with yourself in the company. How did you build the culture of the team, and what is that culture that you would, insist on in your team to have?
See, one thing I realized that to build a team is very important that all of us think in the same direction. The speed of the engine is the speed of the train.
It's true.
You cannot. So if you want everyone to work along with you in the same common direction, then everyone needs to know the vision. So first thing what we started doing in every team meeting that we have, we always discuss the vision of the brand. Like you rightly said, team has been my biggest asset because you cannot do anything today without your team support. 100% in terms of the execution factor. As a head of the organization, I can only think, but all the execution, all the getting the hard work is done by them. So by ensuring that we get the culture within the company right, the thought process of where we need to do, how we need to do it, and also repeatedly telling the team and making them believe that we are not here for the world to serve us, but we are here to serve the world. How can we ensure that at every interaction we have with the world that we can add value? How can we do that? So that is how we build the culture of the entire brand, thinking that be a little selfless, think more about others, think about, if you're looking at a franchise partner, can you do his profit and loss on a monthly basis? Can you ensure you give him better support? If anyone is dealing with you, how can you ensure he's getting benefit in the bargain? How can you add value? So that is how the whole team culture has been built.
The marketing, actually in one sense of the word, your franchisee is also one kind of a marketing tool for you. I mean, they kind of propagate your brand and promote it. So how do you motivate or strategize the marketing and the franchisee people? You handhold them so that they also see the vision that you are able to see for them.
One thing what I've always remembered, this beautiful saying, are you planting a tree or are you growing a tree? What I mean by this is, I see a lot of my friends who say it's my birthday, so my son's birthday, so I'm going to plant 1,000 trees. Eventually, after a few years, you go and see where the 1,000 trees are. Most of them are not able to survive because of various reasons. So it's not about how many trees you plant, it's how many trees you grow. So when you look at a franchise partner, it's not about how many franchise partners we open, it's how successful we are. That's why the vision itself says to create 1,000 successful first generation entrepreneurs, not 1,000 entrepreneurs, successful first generation entrepreneurs. So we have a team which actually handholds the entire franchise partners and their team in terms of what is the standard operation procedure, what is a P&L, how do you look at business, how do you look at your business, how do you look at your business? A lot of people don't know how to look at business, how to read the balance sheet, how to read a P&L. So we teach them all these things And we also tell the franchise partners, please don't invest in 2-3 stores. Invest in one store. Invest in one store. Within 1.5 years, your responsibility is to earn your money out 100% and use that money to invest in second and third store. And very many of our franchise partners who opened up with one store today have a chain of 4 to 5 stores, earning from one store to the next store to the third store, and that's been a chain. And that's a beautiful aspect of the whole thing.
So today you stand tall with your success and accomplishments and all that. But having reached there, it's very essential that you remain there at the top. So to be abreast of all the latest trends, and so how do you keep yourself abreast of all the latest trends across international global needs and be able to deliver it successfully?
Okay. For that, I need to tell you, Derby Jeans Community today is a vertically integrated organization. We start right from fashion forecasting, fashion designing, merchandising, manufacturing, quality assurance. You have your warehousing, retail exclusive stores, and e-commerce. Now, everything is professionally driven. But having said that, me personally, for me to understand how things are changing in the world, I ensure I travel a lot. I spend close to about 2.5 months outside the country every year. I travel extensively to Europe, to US, to Australia, to parts of Asia, China. So I travel a lot in terms of understanding what are the current fashion trends. I visit a lot of stores, I visit all the fashion fairs, keep myself with what is happening in the world so that I'm able to bring the best practices available down in our country, and from there understand who is my target audience and what do I give them. So I head the fashion division. All the fashion designers report to me because I head the fashion division within the organization.
What I would like to know is if you press the rewind button, you go back and you start from 21, 22, where you started as an employee. Will you redo the entire journey again, or would you like to have done something different?
I'm very happy where I am today. I think if I look at the larger picture, life is like a zigzag puzzle. If I put all the pieces in place and see where I am today, I think I could not have been in a better place than I am today. And I don't think so I'd like to live my life any other way than the way I've lived, because every experience is here to create you. It's not here to destroy you. Everything that you go in life, the ups and downs, the plus and minuses, are only here to create you. It's how we take it. Either we get created in the process or we fall a little bit more. So how do we do it? And I feel it's been a beautiful journey, and it's been a journey of self-discovery. It's been a journey of me discovering my faith, my source of faith. So I would not have done it any other way.
You would have done it any other way. Okay.
I love it. I love the way I live my life. I love the way I am today.
Sir, I'm sure in this entire journey you would have received so many awards, so many recognition. You would have spoken in so many retail forums and like this, inspiring so many people. What is that one award which is very close to your heart?
One award that's very close to my heart, right behind me out here. It was given to me by my beloved guru, Mahatria.
Okay.
It is called as Radiant Infinitheist Award.
Oh, beautiful.
The award itself means radiant. Radiance is me lifting through His grace the veil of ignorance day by day, becoming more and more spiritually rooted, understanding, removing that ignorance. Long way to go, but at least slowly lifting the ignorance from my mind. And the process, not only lifting myself, but lifting the world around me. That's why if you look at the award out there, you see helping hands pushing the globe to the top.
Yeah.
So that's what the entire award means, is radiance. So spreading the radiance and spreading that you're given in the trust you will give. And we have been given abundantly. We've been given abundantly for me, it's my Mahatria. So he's given me so much in life. He's given me whatever I am today, whatever the way I think, my words, my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, the way I interact with people is all His gift. So you're given the trust that you will give. That trust I always keep. Yes, I ensure with every opportunity I go and address a lot of students. I go to all the universities, wherever there is any entrepreneurship set up, or in fact this week alone I've given 3 talks. So last week alone I gave 3 talks. So it was to Sindhi Chamber of Commerce, then it was one on women's empowerment, another one was on entrepreneurship startup. for 2017. So lot of things. So I ensure that wherever I can, I want to spread that thing of entrepreneurship and keep that spark alive and tell people. I mean, for a person like me, who actually comes with not very good educational background, comes from a middle class family, and with that limited resources could make it and be successful in life. And most of the people whom I meet today are far more educated, they're far more brilliant, they have fabulous thought process. Imagine their potential. So I just go there just to remind them that a person like me can succeed. I think then you have all the ingredients of success much more than me. So believe in yourself, don't give up hope. Have faith in yourself and live your dream. You only get one chance to live and be who you are. So don't let that opportunity miss you.
Today, everybody looks up to the man Vijay Kapoor behind Derby, and whom does Vijay Kapoor look up to?
Everyone is inspiration to me. I mean, starting right from my source of faith, Mahatria, to my mother. I love my mom a lot. Whatever I've learned a lot through her. I see her spirit. She's about 78 now. Even today, she will not waste a single minute. She will be sitting in a bed and knitting. She wants to go out and do a bhajan. She is very, very inspiring in her own way. My wife Rakhi, she's been a source of strength to me. Bubbly, full of life. And the way she parents our son Ricky. Then I look up to my son. In fact, he is hardly 16, but the way he thinks, the way he's got absolute clarity in how he wants to live his life. He's not clear about what he wants to do in life, but he's clear about how he wants to live his life. I mean, it's very inspiring to see him. And I get inspired just looking at people. I mean, I truly believe you can learn so much with every interaction, with every person you see. You're sitting out here. I'm very inspired looking at you for what you have achieved in life and how you look at life and who you do. We had a beautiful cup of coffee some time back. Just that interaction of 15-20 minutes was absolutely beautiful, and I'll have those memories forever.
The cluster.
Absolutely. And that's what life is about, and it's too beautiful. I don't want to miss out, and I look up to people, I look up to life.
Beautiful,
I get inspired
sir.
living life.
Beautiful, sir. Somebody whom you would like to meet in your life. He can be a person of history of the past or somebody in the current.
I want to meet Vijay Kapoor on March 31st, 2025. I keep reminding myself every morning, Vijay, if you want to achieve what you dream of creating 1,000 successful first generation entrepreneurs, then you need to become the person today. If you don't become the person today, you'll never go there and become the person. You need to become the person today. For that, you need to become that today. And I keep imagining what it will be when I've achieved that and standing and feeling. So I want to go ahead and live the next 8 years of my life wanting to meet that person out there.
Beautiful.
How he feels, how I want to meet that Vijay Kapoor in the future. And I want to live up to, I think the greatest joy is in growing in your own eyes. I have this thing of every night sitting in silence. I have a beautiful meditation room where I meditate before coming to work every morning for half an hour, and night before I go to sleep about half an hour, 45 minutes. So I keep telling Vijay how it'll be so beautiful if you're actually able to become that person. So I keep reminding myself, so that's the person I want to meet.
One final question, sir, before we wind up. I'm sure you gave a lot of your life itself an experience, inspiration, learning, everything for all these people who would be seeing this interaction. Before we end, I would like to a suggestion or words of encouragement to the budding entrepreneurs out there, or for any person out there. The key values that they have to hold on to in their life.
Okay, I live my life asking myself a few questions every morning, and I keep answering myself. Then, in the end of the day, I go back and ask myself the same questions. Have I lived my life as per the questions I asked in the morning? I've done this, and I found it very useful for me and very liberating for me, because sometimes when I answer them, I know honestly I cannot lie to myself. True. I know honestly I don't think so, Vijay, this is you. This is not becoming of you. And a lot of times when I go back and I say, pat myself on the back and say, hey, beautiful. I mean, that's a nice way to live. You lived a beautiful life. You lived a beautiful day. Because I strongly believe life is in that one day. You cannot live in your past, you cannot live in your future. If you're able to live every day of your life being true to what you want to be, then your life will be progressive. What I do today that will create my tomorrow is important. And if you take care of what is important, your future will automatically be taken care of. So I ask this question to myself every morning, Vijay, do you want to be a typical 46-year-old like everyone else, or you want to be a 46-year-old that world can role model on? I ask this question and I say, no, I think I want to be someone people can role model on. Then I ask, if you want to be a 46-year-old the world can role model on, what should be the type of character that you need to hold yourself to? Should your character expectation from yourself be greater than that you expect from others? Can you actually be a benchmark in whatever you do? Can you ensure you give your 100% to the day? Can you ensure that you live your life worthy of your potential? Because every one of us has got great potential. I know my potential. I know I'm capable of a lot more than what I'm doing right now. Can I actually go and live up to it? So this is something that I ask myself, and I go back in the night and answer these questions. Have I lived up to my potential? Am I doing justice? When I say I want to create 1,000 successful first generation entrepreneurs, what did you do today to go towards that? That is your goal. So what did you do towards today for that? And thirdly, I think I want to feel more and more beautiful. So did I live my today in congruence to my values and principles? Am I living myself? Am I living the day? I have my values. My values for the organization is integrated with my personal values. My work is my prayer. I will. Intensity and enthusiasm. Service loyalty to the customer and financial loyalty to the brand. Am I living my life in congruence to these values and principles? Am I doing justice to the work that I have? I've been given opportunity to create a global brand. Am I doing justice to that? So this is what I do, and I think it's useful. We need to figure out our own ways. Each one of us is different. Each one of us is different value system. Each one of us have different aspirations. If you're able to ask a question at the beginning of the day and actually answer at the end of the day, we'll find day by day the gap narrowing down. And once we're able to live our life aligned to what we believe in, then we'll find there's a lot more flow in life. There's a lot more happiness in life. There's a lot more satisfaction in what we do. And when we go to sleep end of the day, we can sleep peacefully. We can sleep with a lot of happiness and joy of a day well lived, a life well lived.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for coming over.
Completely inspiring, totally inspiring. I think people out there, I'm going to be really touched and inspired by the way you are living your life and the way you're creating your brand and the successes, the ripples that you are creating around. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And wishing you all a beautiful and fabulous life. Believe in yourself. Life is too beautiful to be missed. Keep doing what you need to do and live a beautiful and a fabulous life. God bless. Thank you.